Why does God break the man before he uses him? This is a question that has echoed through the hearts of countless believers who have found themselves shattered, stripped down, and wondering if their brokenness means they have been abandoned by the very God they serve. But hear me clearly. Your breaking is not your burial. Your crushing is not your conclusion. Your weakness is not your waste. It is your workshop. When God looks at a man and sees potential for his kingdom, he doesn't just polish the surface. He doesn't simply add a few improvements or make minor adjustments. He breaks everything that stands in the way of his glory being revealed through that life. Because the truth is this: God cannot use what refuses to be broken. He cannot flow through what insists on flowing in its own direction. He cannot shine through what believes it already has enough light. Scripture tells us in 2 Corinthians that God chooses the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. He chooses the weak things to shame the strong. But before he can use your weakness as strength, he must first expose what you thought was your strength as weakness. Before he can display his power through your life, he must first reveal that your power was actually powerlessness dressed up as confidence. The breaking process is not random. It is not cruel. It is not without purpose. God breaks with precision, with intention, with love so deep that it's willing to cause temporary pain for eternal gain. He breaks the pride that whispers you can do it alone. He breaks the self-reliance that convinces you that your wisdom is enough. He breaks the independence that refuses to lean on his understanding. Think about it this way. A potter doesn't take a lump of clay and immediately shape it into a masterpiece. First, he must knead it, work it, break down every air pocket, every hard spot, every impurity that would cause the vessel to crack under pressure. The clay might feel like it's being destroyed, but the potter knows that without this breaking process, the vessel will never hold what it was designed to contain. God is the potter, and you are the clay. But unlike earthly clay, you have a will. You have preferences, you have plans, and you have pride. These things must be broken not because they are inherently evil, but because they compete with his sovereignty in your life. They create resistance where there should be surrender. They build walls where there should be open doors. The breaking often comes through circumstances you never saw coming. It arrives through disappointments that shatter your timeline. It shows up in failures that humble your expectations. It manifests in losses that strip away what you thought defined you. But here's what you must understand. God is not breaking you to hurt you. He is breaking you to heal you from the disease of self-dependence. Self-dependence is the most dangerous addiction a believer can have because it masquerades as strength while slowly poisoning your relationship with God. It convinces you that your intelligence, your resources, your connections, your abilities are enough to navigate life successfully. But God knows better. He knows that a man who trusts in himself will eventually trust in everything except the one who created him. So he orchestrates seasons where your intelligence isn't enough. He allows circumstances where your resources run dry. He permits situations where your connections cannot help you and your abilities fall short. Not to mock your limitations, but to awaken you to his limitlessness. Not to showcase your weakness, but to reveal his strength that is made perfect in that very weakness. The breaking is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your testimony. It is not the conclusion of your calling. It is the commencement of your commissioning. Because when God breaks you, he doesn't leave you in pieces. He rebuilds you with his hands, according to his design, for his glory. And the man who emerges from the breaking is not the same man who entered it. He is humbler but not defeated. He is weaker in himself but stronger in God. He is less confident in his own abilities but more confident in God's faithfulness. This is why Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before God called him to deliver Israel. The prince of Egypt had to become a shepherd in the desert. His royal education had to be humbled by the simplicity of tending sheep. His palace confidence had to be stripped away by the silence of the mountains. God wasn't wasting Moses' time. He was breaking Moses' self-reliance so that when he stood before Pharaoh, it would be clear that the power came from heaven, not from human wisdom. The same pattern appears throughout Scripture. David had to flee from Saul and live in caves before he could sit on the throne. Joseph had to endure the pit and the prison before he could rule in the palace. Paul had to be blinded on the Damascus road before he could see clearly enough to write half the New Testament. Each breaking was preparation, each crushing was construction, each defeat was actually design. But here's what makes the breaking so difficult. It often looks like the opposite of blessing. When God is preparing you for promotion, it feels like punishment. When He is positioning you for purpose, it appears like abandonment. When He is developing your destiny, it seems like destruction. The enemy whispers that God has forgotten you, that your brokenness proves you are disqualified, that your struggles mean you are somehow less than others who appear to have it easier. But that whisper is a lie designed to make you abort the process before it's complete. Because the truth is, the deeper the breaking, the greater the blessing that follows. The more thorough the crushing, the more complete the calling that emerges. The darker the valley, the brighter the testimony that will eventually shine from your life. God breaks you in private so He can use you in public. He humbles you in secret so He can honor you openly. He allows you to feel weak in the hidden places so that when you step into the spotlight, everyone will know that the strength flowing through you is not your own. This is why the breaking often happens away from the crowds, away from the applause, away from the affirmation of others. So remember this truth as you walk through your own season of breaking. God has not abandoned you in the wilderness. He has not forgotten your name in the valley. He has not overlooked your tears in the darkness. Every crack in your confidence is creating space for His glory. Every humbling is preparing you for honor. Every moment you feel broken is actually the moment you are being rebuilt according to His perfect design. Trust the process. Embrace the breaking and know that your greatest ministry will flow from your deepest wounds. Because when God breaks you, He doesn't break you to leave you broken. He breaks you to make you whole.